Hey friends, it's Robin. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are filming my August TBR. I have some stuff to preface this video with. First of all, I filmed this once and my audio was completely messed up, so let's cross our fingers that the audio is better in this one. I also have a ton of stuff going on in August. There are two readathons that I'm participating in. The Romance Takeover Readathon, which is happening the first week of August and hosted by Jen from the Book Refuge, who I will link down below so you can find all the information for that readathon. And then I'm also participating in the Magical Readathon hosted by G from the Book Roast. Will also be down below, and that's a whole month-long readathon. I won't be like vlogging or anything like that. There won't be really, I don't think, any dedicated content to that. It's mostly going to be me casually participating in that because I love a good TBR prompt. And then we have the Buzzword Readathon, which is the August prompt is items. So any item. So it can be like hat, shelf, knife, cat, whatever. I do have a book picked out for that, so hopefully we can get that on the TBR. And then I have two book club books that I want to read for the Literally Dead book club. This month's pick is What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, and I do have an ALC of this, so I will be listening to the audiobook. And then I am part of Riley's Patreon, and to do that, all the people that I mentioned will be down below, as well as like the book clubs and things like that. So everything will be down in the description box, as well as all the books that I do put on my TBR. I have something ridiculous like 12 arcs for August, so I really want to get a bunch of those on the TBR. I have some rereads. I have a ton of stuff that I want to get to in August. So let's just get right into picking the prompts. We are on a bit of a time crunch, so I'm sorry if I'm talking a little faster than normal. We're just gonna have to kind of fly through this since I wasn't planning to film today. So prompt one is this one. And this is to read a book that is recommended or hyped. I think for this would be the perfect opportunity to get one of the book club picks on, since technically the person running the book club recommended this. So I'm gonna go with What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This is a really, really short book. I did not realize that when I requested this book. It's really teeny tiny. So I'm assuming the audiobook is going to be only a few hours long. I believe this is a retelling of The Fall of the House of Usher, and one of our main characters is returning to like one of their childhood friends' house, and their friend has aged significantly and weird stuff is happening around the house, and they're trying to figure out what is happening at this creepy house. It sounds like a really good time. Like I said, it's really short, so it should be a quick, easy read to knock out in August. Prompt number two is, let's pick this guy. And this is to read a standalone. For this, I'm going to go with one of the 9 million arcs that I have, and I am going to go with Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I don't know if Ali Hazelwood's books all take place in the same world, but they are all standalones. This is another one that is following a female scientist. I don't remember if she's an engineer or what, but she's working with her arch enemy, and I think like stuff from her lab starts to disappear, and the two of them work together to uncover who is stealing her stuff. So enemies to lovers. I love Ellie Hazelwood's writing so much. I absolutely love every single book that I've read of hers. I've given them all 5 stars. So this is probably my most anticipated book for the second half of the year. So I want to get it read as soon as I can. Prompt 3 is going to be this. Oh, that's a bunch of them. Let's go with this one. And this one is to read a book with a beautiful cover. And I already know what I'm going to pick for this one, and I'm going to go with Wild as the Witch by Rachel Griffin. Rachel Griffin's books are absolutely stunning. I am going to be buying this right away on release date because the first editions of her books always have printed naked hardcovers, and the Nature of Witches naked hardcover is one of my like prized possessions at this point, and this one is also stunning. I love her covers so much. This is another YA witchy fantasy, and we're following our heroine who is secretly a witch, and you are not supposed to no one's supposed to know that she has magic. One of the men that she is working with keeps talking about how much he hates witches, and she decides to put a curse on him, but the curse misses and lands on an owl, and then the owl flies away. And so the two of them end up having to work together to try and track down the owl and stop the curse from spreading. So another enemies to lovers romance. Rachel Griffin's writing is just really atmospheric and lush and beautiful. And I'm very excited to give another one of her books a read. Prompt number 4. Let's pick this one. And this one is to read a new release. For this, I'm going to go with the Oleander Sword, which is also going to hit my buzzword prompt. I'm going to use sword as the item. And this is the sequel to The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. This series is an epic fantasy with a sapphic romance. And in this world, magic exists, but most people believe magic has kind of been killed off. And we are following a whole bunch of characters, and a couple of them secretly have magic. And then we have a captive princess and some people trying to rescue her and overthrow the people in power. I really love Tasha Suri's writing, and I loved the world building in here. I loved the female-female romance. So I'm really excited to continue on with this one. Prompt number 5 is going to be this one. And this is to read a book that was published in 2021. So something from last year that I still haven't read yet. I do want to reread The Jasmine Throne before I go into the Oleander Sword. However, I also have the Duke Heist by Erica Ridley, and Forever is Amazing and sent me the next 2 books as well. So I do also want to read this. Weirdly enough, they're both yellow. I think I'm gonna go and put my reread on here because if I don't get this one on the TBR, it is like absolutely massive. So I'm going to regret not getting this on my official TBR if I don't. Whereas this one is short. I could always squeeze this one in if I so chose. So I'm going to reread this one most likely on audio. I'm hoping that the audio book is a full cast since we have a ton of perspectives in here. So I'm hoping to pick this one up on audio. Prompt 6, pick this one. And this one is a book from my 22 in 22 series. I need to go look at what was on that list. Luckily, I have all my notes with me. I have a couple of them to choose from. I could choose Lord of the Fly Fest by Goldie Moldavsky, which comes out this month, Stay Awake by Megan Golden, or A Strange and Stubborn Endurance by Foz Meadows. I think I'm going to go with Lord of the Fly Fest by Goldie Moldavsky. This is the author of the Mary Shelley Club, which I read last year and absolutely loved. And her books are like twists on like classic slashers and horror. And so the Mary Shelley Club was kind of like a twist on like 90s classic slashers. And this one is obviously based on Lord of the Flies. And we're following, I don't remember if she's like a blogger or podcaster or Instagrammer or what it is, but she goes to this big music festival on this island and things go wrong and it ends up being very Lord of the Flies-esque. I assume horror slasher things ensue. I had such a good time with the Mary Shelley Club that I knew I wanted to pick up anything else that this author wrote. So I do have an arc of this one. It comes out right at the end of the month. So this is something that I'll probably read a little later in August. Prompt 7 is, let's pick this one. And this one is to read a romance book. For this, I'm going to go with Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. And this is a new romance. I believe it's a standalone. And at this, we're following our heroine who is working on her dissertation. And she is like a crime junkie. She's all into true crime, and she ends up having to help her brother clean out their recently deceased father's house, and she becomes convinced that his neighbor is a serial killer, and it is their romance. And I just think the mix between true crime and romance is such a fun mix, and I'm very excited to give this one a read. Prompt number 8, let's go with this one. Oh, there's a couple. Let's go with this one. And this is to read an LGBTQIA+ book. For this, I'm going to go with, this is breaking my own rules because I'm supposed to only put books on here that I already own in some capacity. However, I am going to own this one because of Kindle Unlimited. So I'm not counting this as technically breaking my rules because I'm not purchasing this book, but that is the third Frat Wars story by Saxon James. And I'm putting this one on the list, one, because it's going to fit for the Romance Takeover readathon stuff. But this comes out on the 3rd, and I love this series so much. And I know that I want to read this during the Romance Takeover Readathon right away at the beginning of August. This is an romance set at college, and the two main characters in this one are both presidents of their rival fraternities, and this series is just so fun. There's no angst, no real drama, no real stakes in this. It is just these two fraternity houses playing some pranks on each other and having a good time in their senior year of college. And it is just, it's such a fun story. And it's one that I need in between some of the like darker, heavier books that I've been reading. I need a book like this to kind of even things out. So that's what I'm gonna read for a queer book. Prompt number 9 is this one. And this is to read a book with a dark colored cover. For that, I'm gonna go with Give Me More by Sarah Kate. This is the 3rd book in the Salacious Players Club, and I am utterly obsessed with the series. I fully understand all of the Sarah Kate hype. I am on the train. I get it. This is, like I said, the 3rd book, and this one is an MMF romance, and one of our heroes, Drake, is invited into this couple's marriage. We know all of the characters that are in here already, and I'm so excited to get their romance. I've heard that this is everyone's favorite of the series, and I gave praise 5 stars, and I am like 75% of the way through book 2, and I love that one. So I'm so excited to give this one a read. So this is what I'm gonna go with for dark cover, because I know I'm gonna want to pick up that one as soon as I can. Prompt number 10. Let's pick this guy. This one is to read an ebook. So most likely I'm gonna go with another arc. For this, I am gonna go with The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and I am blanking on the author's name, so the cover will be up here. This sounds like a really like cute, cozy romance with a found family. From what I remember about the synopsis, our heroine is a witch. Apparently there's a theme this month. No one's supposed to know that she has magic, but she has this YouTube channel where she pretends to be a witch and everyone thinks that it's fake. But then she receives a request from somebody who asks her to travel to this like remote manor to help teach these 3 children magic. She decides that she needs to help these kids. So she travels there, and there is like this found family at the manor, and there's a grumpy, like I think he's a gardener or like groundskeeper, and it just sounds so cute. I need, like I said, I need some good cozy stories after a lot of the darker books that I've been reading. So I'm very excited for this one. Since I am getting a lot of my like required reading on here, I am going to pick 2 more. Let's pick this one. And this is to read a book for a video. So I know what I'm going to read for this one. I am trying to work my way through Onley James's entire backlist. So I am going to read the next book in, what is the name of this series? The first book is Endangered Species, and I'm blanking on the name of the series, but I will pop it up right here. I think I'm gonna read book 1 the week that I'm filming this. I think I'm gonna read it this week. If I haven't, book 1 is gonna go on the TBR. If I have, book 2 is gonna go on the TBR. I am trying to finish up Onley James's backlist so that I can do a whole guide to Onley James on my channel. But I have, I think, 5 more books to go. So I would like to finish up this series. So that's what we're gonna go with for a video. And then our final prompt is, let's pick this one. And this is to start a new series. So I think for this one, we are going to go with the Duke Heist by Erica Ridley. Like I said, I really want to get to this. This is, what is it called? The series isn't on here, but I think it's the Winchester series, if I'm not mistaken. But I have the first 3 books, so I'm very excited for these. I know nothing about this. I believe that the Winchester family is all like adopted children. They're all adults now, but I believe they were all adopted. And there's, from what I remember, a really amazing found family in here. And I think the Winchesters are criminals. Like they steal things. Maybe. I might be making all of this up, but I don't want to read the synopsis. I just kind of want to go into this one not knowing. So that's going to be the book that we use for start a series, which is unfortunate because there's other things that I put on here that are the start of a series, but it's okay. We're closing some out so we can start some new ones. So that is all 12 books on my TBR. This is a big TBR. I normally don't put this many books on a TBR, but since I had like I said, so much required reading this month, I just figured keep picking the prompts, keep putting books that I need onto the TBR. These are the 3 that I own physically. One is a reread, 2 romances. I'm very excited about this TBR, so let me know what you are reading in the month of August, and I will catch y'all in my next video. Bye.